We have many ships anchor outside the port of Los Angeles in California, and they are calling this a supply problem, a supply problem. And I want to argue that. I want to argue that supply problem because I don't see it that way. The data that I see has nothing to do with supply. The supply is plenty. The ships are anchored outside. The problem is transportation, transportation and manufacturing in the United States of America. Let me tell you how it works. One day I show up at the port of Menamine, I think it is Menamine. Anyway, is in California. And this is during the pandemic. And I redesigned. They say, talk to the operator via the speaker phone. And I look around for the speaker phone, and I never did see that speaker phone. I finally saw a fellow walking, and I approached him, and he said that he didn't understand what I was talking about because apparently he didn't know where speakerphone was. so I tried to point him to the sign. And as I walk around him, he pushed me. He said that it was a coronavirus thing and that I needed to put the mask on and all this craziness. Literally, the guy pushed me, and you touch me and I'm going to take you out. And that is exactly what happened. At least it was in camera. And everybody saw what happened. I was not the aggressor. That is what happened in California. The problem is not the supply chain. The problem is that our workers are no longer able to do the job. Let me tell you what else happened in that same port. What we call an owner-operator. Owner-operator, that means they own their own machine and they operate their own machine. Basically, they own buses. You know, they are the one who transport products around the United States of America for a profit with their own machine, and they make a lot of money. They arrive to the port of Los Angeles and they are being turned back. Hey, we are not going to load our product coming from China on your truck because the state of California has passed a law. The truck must meet some standards by year. So that means that if you have a truck that is like more than 5 years old, you do not meet those standards. So they do not load that commodity coming from China on your truck. So that means you starve to death. They are selecting. An owner operator can take a truck and take that truck to 2 million miles. So guess what happened if it happened? If you can get a truck to run that long, that means that the manufacturer of trucks cannot sell trucks. So what they're doing, they're creating a pyramid by passing laws. They're telling you, no, you are an owner operator, you need a new truck. Basically, they're forcing you to buy a new truck. So that way they transfer those expenses now earning by that operator that is clear because he have no truck payments, his machine is ready to go. So now he has to pay like $2,500 a month or more for a new truck that costs like $250,000. So that is the whole problem why there is so many ships on the ocean of the coast of California is because the state of California have created a pyramid, and now the pyramid is tightening up, is collapsing because what is a driver for them to do if everything around them is no longer capitalism, is socialism? Because when you start passing laws to control commerce, that become socialism, that become a economy guided by social needs. And that is what is happening. We are no longer have a capitalism model. We have a pyramid created by the socialists governing, and those socialists are no different than Germany in the 1930s. They are creating a socialist base with industry. They call themselves industry partners. They are controlling now the United States of America. So the problem is not the supply. The supply is there. It's anchored outside our oceans, outside our coastline, outside the ports. The problem is that we are no longer a capitalist system. Now we have a system, a alternative reality system controlled by laws, created out of thin air, created by politicians. They are not in the interest of the United States of America. They are in the interest of people who see themselves as white American English. If you are not a white American English and have the ability to basically enslave everybody else because we can pass laws to do it, you're a zero. No different than Russia, China. They absorbing the same model, but the Chinese and the Russians and all these people are more advanced than we are actually, because they have seen these people like in Vietnam. You see videos. I see videos made by people from Vietnam, and you see the elegant people advancing, and you see the elegant people loving their nature and their country and their neighbors, and we have forgotten about that. Today, when you go to a port, they looking at you as the worker, as a zero. They push you around, they mistreat you. And guess what? If you don't fight back, they will completely eradicate you. And when you fight back, the laws of the country are designed to be against you, against the people. In my case, I will fight back no matter what. I don't know about you, but yo bine, be even Z. 1898, the United States take over all the territories of the Spanish Empire, or the Kingdom of Spain, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Hawaii. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's pick up Hawaii. Hawaii became a state of the Union because the Dole Company utilized that to grow pineapples, basically. And because of that, the industrialists took over the geography. You have to understand that these people, the Kingdom of Hawaii, has treaty already with the Spaniards for the previous 300 and something years. These people were accepted as a nation by the Spaniards. The United States came in and they eradicated all that. Hey, the Queen and the King, get the hell out of here. This is now Dole Company. They used the United States military to do it. And in 1950, I think 51, they became a state of the Union, a 51st state of the Union. A 50th state of the Union, but they do not include the rest of the islands, yes, Hawaii. And that is something that I want to do, is make the 51st state of the Union include all the rest of the islands. What is happening at that time was the Dole Company utilized the product being produced and bring that product to the United States of America and manufacture that product. Let's say they make pineapple, they make the pineapple, they put them in cans, and they make pineapple juice, and they make piña colada. So what I'm saying is, at that time, the United States of America was a manufacturing country. We start manufacturing the same thing the Chinese is doing. We manufacture everything and we export that outside, because we can do it cheaply with cheap label. Those cheap labels were coming in from Europe. They were invited from Europe, and they were invited from all over the world, and that inexpensive labor force was able, the United States of America, to produce inexpensive everything, from ships to airplanes to firearms to you name it, they can make it. And it was made in the USA, the United States of America. What we have now is no longer a manufacturing company. It's the opposite. Now we are the consumers. Now everything else is coming in. It's coming in. So it's being produced, but we fail to transport that product because the laws that we have passed. We fail to transport that product because we do no longer have a comprehensive immigration. No immigration, because it's no immigration. You know, these people are no immigrants. These people come here to work, to produce inexpensively. So we do no longer have that ability. Now we are trying to create this alternative reality for the white American English to survive, because they have become the minority. These white American English are the people who went to Harvard University, are the University of the United States of America. They are our doctors. They are our scientists. I have been to the doctor when first see me, tells me the Haitians swim better than the Cubans. This is a doctor educated in Harvard University. They have told me this. The Haitians can swim farther than the Cubans because they are farther when they come here to the United States of America. And that is without even saying hi. And of course, when I finished with that doctor, he didn't know where he was going to. That is another video that I got made, but I did tell him this. Yes, that is correct. The Cubans and the Haitians are the most strongest of the biologists of this humanity. We can swim pretty far. Not only we can swim pretty far, we can even go to space. Because Mr. Jeff Bezos is the adopted son of a Cuban. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Doctor, where you stand was possible because the Cubans created the United States of America, and the Haitians produce the raw material for you to be sitting on that desk. So as you see, that is exactly what is happening. Our leaders are completely conditioned. They live in an alternative reality. And that reality is to safeguard their how can I say, their rationale. They are rationalizing. They are protecting themselves as a biology. They no longer analyze the data. For example, on that doctor is no different than the Secretary of Commerce and the Secretary of Education and the Secretary of Transportation. They are not doing their jobs. These people, they are not educating us. These people, they are not promoting transportation in real time, in reality. They're creating this crazy idea to create a pyramid. Pyramid is no longer a free enterprise. It's a pyramid, a controlled pyramid. And that is what is happening in the United States of America. Our leadership have collapsed. We are no longer the United States of America. Right now, we are controlled by the Europeans. The Europeans, not all of Europeans, the English in Europe. And you see that with the French, with what happened with the fiasco with the submarine, and the English and the French and the Australians. You see that, and even the French are saying, "Hey, we better start protecting ourselves. These people are destroying us." So that is the problem in the United States of a problem. The United States of America, they have the problem. The problem is not the supply. We have the supply. The problem is how we as people, have changed the way our country works from a manufacturing nation, a nation of people who come here and produce, to a nation of an alternative reality, a reality created by CNN, by Fox News, by NPR, by BBC London. We are living in an alternative reality. From doctors to Mr. Ernest Grassi, Republican from Iowa, in the Senate. You people, we are no longer one people. But one thing I can tell you, the symbols of the United States of America is going to guide us. We are one union. The American continent as a name, named after a Castilian, Americo Vespucci. That name is unity. We will protect that unity. The United States of America might collapse, and in my opinion already have, but we will rebuild it as one union. E plurium unum. One people, one union. And that is what we need to fix. We need to bring back industry into the United States of America. We need to start educating our population, recondition our doctors, recondition our leadership, recondition our United States military, recondition the people who work for institutions like the CIA, like the FBI, like the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, every department in this country, our workers, our citizens. We must recondition them not to be a color, but to be a United States of American national. And that will fix the problem that we say there is a supply problem. It is not a supply problem. It is your problem. It is my problem. Like the Romans say, mía es mi culpa, mía es mi culpa, mía es mi culpa. Saludos.